Hello, my name is Jessica Thompson, and I'm going to tell you more about the Mennonites and the women of the Amish, the Mennonite community. I have presented a PowerPoint that's got some pictures of some farms around my house, so I hope you enjoy. The Mennonites are all around us. You either pass them driving down the road, or you can go by their farms and you see them as they're working in the fields. If you don't live around them, then you can always see them on TV, some kind of show about them. When I was born, I was delivered by a local Mennonite midwife. I've lived within the middle of their community for my whole life, and I've helped them with annual auctions that they have. As the woman I am always wanting to know more about women of different cultures and religions and how they live. Today I'm going to reassure the audience that the Mennonite community is not what people assume they are. I'll state some major history details, why the Mennonites have such large families, and explain some of the women's duties and responsibilities to their families. First, let's look at the history of the Mennonite community. According to AmishAmerica.com, the Mennonites started by Menno Simmons around the early 1500s in Central Europe. They refer to themselves as plain people, and they refer to us as English. Their belief is based on the mission and ministry of Jesus Christ. Because of this belief, they had great confliction and persecution from the Roman Catholics and the Protestant states. Because of that, they ended up moving to neighboring states and countries that would tolerate this belief. They are very opposed to war and violence, so they're known to be one of the historic peace churches. Now that we know a little bit more about the history of the Mennonites, let's look at why the Mennonite families have such large families. Well, for one, their belief is based on God. It's straight up based on the biblical sense. They don't believe in birth control. They believe they've got a very tight work schedule, and they truly believe in working for everything they own. Whether it's in the fields, in vegetable and production fields, or owning their own construction businesses, owning their own remodeling businesses, owning their own stores like feed or making molasses or shoe repair, anything like that. And that takes critical time. It takes consideration, and it takes a lot of people. Well, the daddy of the family has got to engage in the big business deals. They got to make sure everything's done right and on time. The mother's got a lot of responsibilities. She's got to cook the meals, keep the house clean, take care of the yard, do the laundry, and watch all the younger children. The boys in the family help their daddy out in the fields or on construction sites. And the girls in the family have to help their mom. They have to help cook, clean, do laundry, take care of younger siblings, mow their yards, which they don't believe in gas or battery-operated gas push mowers. So they have to do it with a non-gas and non-battery operated push mower, as well as they help the men in the fields if they're needed. Now that we truly know why the Mennonites have such large families, we'll take a bigger look at some of the duties of their women. There are so many duties and responsibilities for the women within the Mennonite community, we don't have enough time to explain them all. But some of the big ones are they have to cook their meals. Well, all their food comes from, 75% of their food comes from either livestock that they own, that they had killed, or vegetables that they grew and canned over time. Their water supply is usually out of springs or creeks, and they have to pump it. They usually get it pumped through I've got a picture on here of one of the neighbors' pumps, and it shows how it pumps up through the creek with horses turning the wheel and pumps into their tank. Well, they don't have electricity, they don't have propane, so they have to use wood stoves to cook on, and they also have to clean their house, they have to clean their yard by mowing their yard. I done talked about that. They have to sweep and clean their flower beds. I've got a picture of a family's flower bed on there that you can see. Their laundry, it's the same water supply. The only difference is they don't have washing machines like us. They have to wash by hand, and then they have this turn system, and it wrings the water out, and then they put the water out puts the water out on the line and lets it finish drying. Their soap is all homemade. If their family didn't make it, then somebody in their family had to make it. Within the community made it. They have to take care of their kids. Okay, they don't believe in birth control. Well, they also don't believe in pain reliever while taking care of their kids. Bible scripture, their biblical sense. Their scripture in Genesis, of King James Version, Genesis chapter 3, verse 16, it states that the punishment for Eve taking a bite of the forbidden apple was that she had to have pain during childbirth. Their solution to that is they take warm water in a pan, and as the woman's cervix is dilating, they pour the warm water over their cervix to help with the pain. They speak Scotland Dutch or German, and their dress code, well, the women wear these bonnets. That is from biblical sense too. Out of Genesis chapter 19, verse 26, it states that they was not, as Sodom and Gomorrah got canceled, they wasn't supposed to turn around. Well, Lot's wife turned around, and she turned instantly into a pillar of salt. So it's supposed to symbolize that the women's not supposed to look around, not supposed to look at their past, and they're supposed to mind their own business. In conclusion, you've heard the history of the Mennonites, reasons why Mennonite families have such big families, and heard some detailed duties and responsibilities of the women within the Mennonite community. Mennonites are real to their families and to their religion. To them, their belief is set in stone. They don't worry about the things of this world, only to be accepted by God and live eternally in heaven. So the next time you see a Mennonite buggy on the road, or you sit down to watch a TV show based on Mennonites, know in the back of your mind what kind of day they have to face compared to yours. Thank you.